Ball coach Mike Mincey in this game. And Coach, tough one to kind of explain in this one because you had some opportunities, looked like you had some chances maybe late to get some leads or to at least tie the basketball game. How do you sum up kind of the final 2 minutes where it was kind of back and forth?
Well, I mean, trying to think back on the possessions that we had, felt like we missed a couple of bunnies here. I mean, whether they were contested or not, I felt like we had a chance to tie the game, I believe it was, with some possessions. I had Bree drive down here, and she elected not to go in. She kicked it out to Tori. I don't know. I can't remember what the outcome there was. Obviously, we got down to the last possession to where they actually didn't have to shoot it, and we were fortunate that they did shoot it. And I was actually trying to get Kayla out to foul because I think there's maybe a 3-second differential in the shot clock and the game clock. But they shot it. Mike got the rebound. They fouled us. Sent us to the free throw line, so we're down 2. So, we had our chances. That would have been an opportunity to tie the game. But obviously we didn't make the plays down the stretch, and we come away with a loss.
Well, we talked about on Tuesday night, and we talked about it in the pregame, the turnover situation.
Yep.
Well, you give it away 28 times. You still are able to score 83 points, but when you turn it over that many times, it leads to great opportunities for them.
Right.
Why did you struggle so much maintaining possession?
I don't, I wish I could answer that question intelligently. We had talked about it coming in that you had to control the boards and you had to control turnovers if you want to win a game against this type of opponent and on the road. And, of course, we did a great job on the boards. You hold the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the country, if these stats are correct, to 16, and we out-rebound them by 20. I wouldn't have thought that, but then we come out and we have 12 assists to 28 turnovers, and we want to think that we're one of the best teams in terms of ball control and taking care of it. They get 84 shot attempts, we get 68. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that, we just didn't take care of it. And some of the turnovers are when we get rebounds and things like that, and then they just knock it out of our hands and they score buckets. And those are big possessions, especially when you lose a game by 5 points.
Harris Price, foul trouble, under the weather in this game, but you can't use that as an excuse, I think, from a coaching perspective and certainly from a team perspective. How much of a wake-up call does this need to be for your group? Well,
I mean, obviously we didn't have the services of Harris. She tried to tough it out today. If you're playing without a first-team All-American, that's a point guard that is kind of one of your catalysts in terms of not turning the ball over. It kind of changes some things for you. But I told them at the half, we're probably going to have to win this game without the services of our starting point guard. It changes your rotation up a little bit. But even with that, we still had a chance to make plays down the stretch. And clearly I would have been very impressed and excited about our group if they could have pulled off a victory here against Columbus State without her really, playing much. I think she tried to get it out in the second half just because she felt like, we needed her. But you couldn't get anything out of her. We just kind of got out of sync offensively. Credit to Columbus State. We had Micah bringing the ball down the floor a lot. We got a 10-second backcourt violation because we had people unwilling to kind of dribble the ball up the floor. And so, these last 2 games have been very difficult. They've been physically demanding games. But, your goal is not to go undefeated all year long. Your goal is to, extend your season late into March. And this is a tough one to swallow, but it's one that we're going to have to.
From a defensive perspective, 33 points from Tatiana Waning. Granted, she takes 32 shots.
Yep.
You're forced to go to a zone defense.
Yep.
From a defensive perspective, when you were able to get into a half court, what did you think of the effort there?
I mean, in the zone, it was pretty good. I mean, obviously you give up 88 points, but, when they shoot 33s and make 7, you're kind of wanting to do that. And I thought, on the boards in general, we kind of did a little bit better. But when you stay in a zone too long, the other team kind of gets comfortable with it and they kind of figure things out. And, we had to go against our game plan, which would be to press and to try to wear down the opponent. But when we realized that Harris couldn't go as much, then it kind of changed our game plan a little bit as to what we could do from a rotational standpoint in terms of playing players. And so, we had to go to the zone, and I thought the kids, for the most part, did a pretty good job. They started giving up creases there in the second half. They started penetrating gaps and trying to post up some people that maybe we didn't do a great job. But overall, I mean, considering we don't play zone a lot, they did a pretty good job.
You turned to LMU on Wednesday night, a place you haven't won, I think, since 2012. Right. So the ship doesn't get any easier. They beat you there last season. What kind of focus does this team need to do to or refocus upon to get ready for the Splitters on Wednesday?
Well, and the old coaching thing, I guess, to talk about the longer you stay with the expectations we have and you stay undefeated and all that kind of stuff. I mean, with the type of schedule we have, it's probably bound to happen, especially a road game, that some things don't go your way. And it gets kind of frustrating, especially there in the middle part of the second half. I think there were just some weird things that happened that just didn't bounce our way, and we probably needed a little bit of luck, and the luck didn't bounce our way. But now we've got the loss on our shoulder. We're 5-1, whatever. This is the only loss we have out of conference, out of playing the Peach Belt schools. So now we go back home and go back to the drawing board. Get rested, get healthy again, and then we're going back into conference play, and that's where it really starts for you, because that's the one thing you want to take care of first and foremost is your conference play. So instead of going to LMU undefeated and having that kind of monkey on your back, that's gone now. So now maybe we can go up there and play a little bit freer.